What's up, y'all? It's your boy John, and today we're gonna be taking a look at something cool. Head unit. So always liked the box of the Dasaita. This one's gonna be going in the Corolla. So we'll do a slight unboxing. We have the manuals, all the paperwork, the harnesses, and the unit itself. Alright, so here's the head unit in all its glory. It's really beautiful piano finish, so it's very shiny. It does have a little screen protector on the bottom with the Dasaita branding. Attach that there with the newer style. Looks like they have the harnesses all right there for you. You guys can look at the diagram. Generally, you don't really have to need to look at this. It's just be plug and play. Cool antennas, Wi-Fi when you have to screw on. FM, AM radio, antenna goes right there. These are the accessories that you'll, for extra USBs and stuff, which is in the box too. But this head unit is pretty stacked. And it also shows the manufacturing date right here. All right, so I'm gonna remove this trim piece right here. It's very simple. I hit it with the side piece right here. You generally wanna do it like a spot where you can't see, because if you do up here, people might be able to see that. So here, you never have that issue. And these are all held by clips. So make sure you don't pull too hard, because it is plastic and it could be brittle over time. So this side one's the most difficult. So I kind of have it right here. There's going to be two plugs, one for your SRS light. This just shows the light for your airbag. And you just hit this little notch right here. Again, right here.
Did you want close-ups of those?
Oh, that's fine.
Oh.
There's a little notch. Oh, all right. So there's two 10 millimeters here, two 10s over there. Hopefully my gun can reach it. Yeah, it's gonna be tight. Put this somewhere safe. So there's two 10s right here. It is a little hard to see, but you just hit it from here. So I had to get an extension. Now, one thing is you don't want to drop these bolts into the unknown, because if it falls under there, they're gonna have a hard time fishing it out and it's just gonna rattle. So be careful when you remove these. After you remove those, it does just pull out. Now be careful, because these brackets are very sharp and you don't want to scratch your interior. So the shift knob is usually what takes the abuse. So just kind of pull it out, and then you're just going to individually remove each wire. Now you're not going to retain all of these wires. Some of these are USBs. Some of these are XM radio antennas. For sure, there's no XM on the new radio, which could be a deal breaker for some, but you could use your app or use your phone CarPlay if that's something you want. Oh, so some of these are just kind of plugged in through the top. So you don't even really need to unplug these. So they kind of just loop. Which is kind of interesting. There you go, right there. And now we bring out the new unit. All right, so we have the harness box, and we definitely know this one plugs in right here, but we don't need to plug it in yet, because we're going to be doing most of the plugging in right here. So let's look for the 10 and 6 pin. Power, front audio, dimmer switch when you turn on the headlights, that goes through this one right here. So we're plugging that one in. So when we get there, the 6 pin, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 goes to this one right here, 6 pin. This one controls rear audio, which is great. This is a 28 pin. The 28 pin should slide in nice and tight. This generally does your steering wheel controls, so we gotta need that. And this is a 20 pin, I believe. I don't know exactly. This varies between models. Sometimes it's reverse camera. So let's see if we can plug this bad boy in. So every plug from the OEM harness is plugged in right now. This is a USB, which I don't know if we can retain. Depends on the kit. And this is for the AM FM radio. So let's plug that one in. So we have everything besides, I think your USB is right here. Hopefully, I might have an adapter. You could buy an adapter on Amazon for 10 bucks. This is the Toyota adapter. We'll check the bag. It might be included here. Oh, it is. So for Toyota, they do change it up. They have 2 years of USB adapters. This one and another one. There's like a teal one. So let's see if this fits. It does. So you'll still be able to retain the USB factory option, which is right here, which is nice. You'll be able to plug it in right there. Let's say you want Apple CarPlay, but for some reason wireless isn't working, which is actually very common. You can plug it through there, or if Android Auto isn't working, depending on what you're using. So everything from the back is plugged in besides this one antenna, and this might be a XM or just another. These circular ones are generally some kind of antenna. All right, so we're just gonna plug in this harness. There's gonna be this little white box or like white pin right here, and we just want to plug in this canvas. What this does is it allows your car to get some information from your car's system. Think of AC unit when your doors are open. You know, if you have a kid or anything, they open the door in the back, it'll say, hey, there's a door open in the back, and it'll show that specific door, which is nice. All right, so just really need to plug in this, and we're gonna test if it works. So there's that, and yeah, that is enough for it to be powered. The USBs and the antennas and the backup camera we'll wire separately. So, all right, so we're gonna start the car in accessory mode, and hopefully we get some power going on to this head unit. Yes, so we do have power. So the first thing I like to check is the power is working. That's a huge leap forward. That means the unit's obviously operational. But then for me, I like to have audio. So audio, depending on your car, you might have an amplifier. See, it says the door's open there, which is really nice. So we are getting that kind of information, which is huge. Let's see if we get audio. So for audio, we are getting audio. That's great. Because some of your system, let's say this was a really high spec Corolla, you might have the JBL upgraded amplifier. That digital signal needs to be converted if we didn't have that. But because I think this is the base unit, the base units are really good for upgrades. You don't really have to worry about anything. So this was the original unit we had right here. Go. All right, so we have a little antenna right here. It's a little stubby antenna, and just gonna screw it in here. The reason why I'm doing this is because when you're doing Bluetooth, you don't need that because there's a Bluetooth antenna inside. But with wireless, or Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, it basically handshakes their Bluetooth, and then it uses your Wi-Fi, so it pairs for higher bandwidth. And go. All right, so we recently just plugged it in here. We have the main harness coming out right here. So this was everything we plugged in. Remember the 10 pin, the 6 pin, 28 pin, all that plugged in here. Now we also added the Wi-Fi antenna. This right here is what you need for the reverse camera. So from the socket A or the connection A, we want the Rev V. I don't know if you guys can get that, Rev V. And you want to plug that into camera. The camera will go back to this harness right here with the 28 pin. There's actually 2 camera pins, 2 cameras. So there's one here and one here. The reason why they do that is because the Corolla might change things like different, like Toyota changes things. So they do this for the maximum compatibility. So we're just gonna use this one, obviously, because it's the same thing. It's like literally just a camera. but are plugged into that, and we have it kind of looped in here. Next off, we have these extra harnesses. They generally don't plug into anything, but if you want a front camera, which we actually plug the reverse camera into front camera first, and it works as when you go into the settings, go to front camera, but we're not using a front camera. So if you don't want to hit curbs or something like that when you're doing that, you can mess with that stuff, but it's good to have that capability, but we're not going to even touch that. And then we have this brown one plugged in too. Again, this one is for USB, and we have it actually snaked through here. So the let's say the wifey needs to charge their phone and is an emergency, you can plug in there. You can also plug in a USB flash drive or external hard drive if you have movies or something like that. You just want to go on a long road trip. This unit actually has a lot of storage inside of itself too. I think it's something ridiculous. And then we have the other USB. It's somewhere back here. There you go. So the other USB, this is from the OEM. So it goes here and it goes to here. And the Dasaita actually provides that harness as well. So there's that. So CarPlay, can you hit the brakes and put in reverse real quick? So there it is right here. The picture quality is okay. It looks like something out from like the early 2010s, but it does work, and as long as you see your bumper and the thing, you're fine. Can you move the steering wheel real quick? So it doesn't move. Sometimes that does move, but in this case it doesn't. And there's a lot of settings you can change on this too. So if you can get out of the reverse mode. In terms of reverse settings, you have to go here, and then I believe it's car settings or something like that. So we have to look for it, but you'll be able to make it so when you reverse, like you can mirror it, you can turn off the volume. So right now it says reverse volume's off, but you can change it so it does nothing. So what am I saying? I'm saying so when you're doing a reverse, it cuts all audio off. But if you want to have audio, like, it's kind of annoying. People like to have no audio when they reverse, so like I guess it heightens their senses. And trajectory display, I'm gonna have the owner play with all these settings because you know, it's just too much. We don't have time for this right now. Lots of settings. And for the most part, if I was an owner of the Corolla, I'm just gonna go in CarPlay and mess with the reverse settings, and I won't even touch anything else. But next step is we're gonna wrap this up, transfer all this stuff into here, and we'll be done. All right, out first.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, so we're gonna pop out the original trim piece. So there's these like yellow piece right here. You see how it kind of comes in? I just pushed it in right here. And there's gonna be, so you push in here, but you push out on this side. So it gets into like this really loopy kind of situation. So 2 pins here, and then the 2 pins right here. So you can kind of see the slots right here. We're gonna then pop in the new head unit. But you have to probably transfer the pins. So, right, see how like there's the 2 pins here and 2 pins there, but there is no pins. So I'm gonna show you guys how to transfer it over. It's actually very simple. You grab this and you maybe use 2 hands. You grab this and you literally just, it's plastic, but it's kind of flexible. And you kind of just, that's one. And you're gonna put that onto the new one. Let's do that again. You grab it, slowly pull in it. You don't want to overexert it because then it'll snap. And then you want these, at least these top 2s right here. But let's just do all of them. Oh, that one good enough. There's that. These white ones are actually kind of more fragile, so I'll be careful with these ones a little bit more. So try to do just 2 at the same time. There's a lot they're gonna hold their shape better. The yellow ones are a lot more flexible. All right, and then you also have to, we're gonna transfer the hazard buttons. So there's gonna be 2 little pins right here, and you just pop it out. And same with this, but you might need a tool to pry it out. So I'm gonna use this plastic tool to pop it off. So you'll be able to see the little notches right here, and you just want to pop it off. So you see where there's these notches? They kind of go right there. So with that, this thing's stripped clean. Keep that safe when you want to sell the car, return back to stock. And we're gonna get this bad boy. And you just do the opposite. In this case, we are just gonna push it in. So let's get this little thing on. Oops. But you want to get that snapped in real good. So I'm gonna start from the bottom, or the top actually. All right, so right here you can see how we kind of sanded it down. When we were putting it in, it would butt against this piece right here, and it would cause some fitment issues. So we shaved it down, which is a little bit weird, but I actually had the same issue last time too. You can actually still see the plastic shavings, but I filed this down. So now the OEM piece has 2 little like connection points right here, which is lacking on the new unit. So it doesn't latch into anything anymore right here, unfortunately. But the good thing is you'll still have these clips to clip it in, so it will still hold it in. So now we're just transferring the these little yellow pieces over. So and just be careful. It is tough, and you just put it right here. So these ones hook up into, you'll see these 2 ports right here. So you want to have these clips, so then it clips right onto these 2. 2 here, 2 here, 2 here on the other side, 2 here on the other side. That way you'll get that good fitment. Okay. So we're gonna actually also ground it. There's gonna be a thing that says ground connector. What ground connector is, just plug it in anywhere that's metal, and you'll be set. So we're gonna just ground it right here. If I don't have it. So now we'll have a nice ground. Are done with the fitment. Let me just tell you, this little head unit right here was actually kind of a pain. Look at the fitment. Better than OEM because we put it together. Just kidding, but it looks solid all the way around, from here all the way to here, all the way to the bottom. It's in real good. Now, what we had to do was on this OEM unit, I showed it earlier, but we had to shape this piece right here. This black rectangle trapezoid is missing these 2. And it kind of has these other ones that don't fit, so we just shaved them off. Initially, when we were fitting it in, this one right here too, it looked like it was in the same position, but I would say maybe it was offsetted by, it looked like when me and my friend right here were doing it, it was off like a millimeter or 2, like maybe 3 millimeters. So we had to shave that off too. And when I mean shave off, this is what we did, okay? We just got this. This is the OEM piece, so I don't want to do it, but as an example, we just did this and we just broke it. And then we just kind of filed it down like this. So imagine if you just filed it down here. That's what we did. You can also use a Dremel or something like that. But the fitment looks great now. Lines up. All of this works. Hazard button works. Make sure you plugged in the hazard and the passenger airbag light. So we have those plugged in. As far as like using it, we are gonna use CarPlay, and there you go. And we got Spotify and all that jazz, so all that's good.
yeah, that's it. If you guys were interested, oh yeah, the steering wheel. We have the steering wheel, so let's show that. We didn't have to set it up, so because of that red little CAN bus box, we didn't need to set it up, which was nice. He's going through the modes right now. He's pressing it. Let's demonstrate that reverse camera again real quick. So if you can, yep, that's good too. It works. It's great. So everything works the way it should. Also, if you open, the doors, it shows that the doors are open, and as well as AC. You can actually see the little temperatures right here too. So it's a little redundant information, but it's there. So it's cool that it has that kind of car information. You should be able to see even more stuff. There's a lot of settings you can go through, which we can go through in a bit. But go here. There's like vehicle information. So maybe the OEM unit had this, but it shows like the mileage, how much time we chose, tire information. Looks like it shows the tire pressure too. Did your car ever show that? No, it didn't. It's in KPA, so I believe there's a setting to change that to. Let's see. And you have all these settings too, so it's starting to feel like too many adjustments you can do. Like auto lock door, on and off, convenient features, small screen, MPG. Let me see if there was like tire pressure, auto relock timer, 60 seconds, backup door, remote 2-press unlocks, auto unlock, shift to park. So you can, this car has so much more capabilities, which could be overwhelming for some, but it's cool to have. You don't have to mess with it, obviously. And I just want to go through the settings real quick and show about the machine. So we have the PX6, that's the serial number, which this is what it is, but we're on Android version 11, and the CPU is what you're probably interested in here. This is a 6-core processor, so a hexa-core processor. It has 2 eco ones or something like that, so they're split into 2 separate kind of compute units, but 4 gigs of RAM, which is kind of overkill because all we're going to really use is CarPlay. And yeah, the system overall is really good. For the user, he's just going to use not to hate on Android, but when you use a unit like this, Apple has the best UI UX design. So you just kind of go into the UI UX of Apple, and then you just kind of leave it there. But it's cool to go through those other settings as well. But that kind of concludes the wrap up. If you guys were interested in this product, I'll leave the links down below. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, because it helps me out a lot. I'll make these videos. I got cut up. Look at that. There's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. Literally blood. So thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next video. See ya.